it's bass heavy music, but Mallet, I think it is, from Digital Mystics, one of the two guys who produced the Digital Mystics, put it like it's music. When you listen to it in a club, it doesn't force you to dance; it just invites you. Do you know what I mean? And I think that sums that up really well. It's you can get down, you can throw a shade to it, but you don't have to. You can just stand and appreciate the vibe if you want. So it's yeah, I guess that sums it up for me.
Bass heavy, bass does a lot of the work. You can, you know, a lot of tunes, they don't have a lot going on drum and rhythm wise because the bass, you know, you got this LFO whooping bass going whoop, 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 and that kind of, you know, big system that, you know, it's just like, just carries you along. Basically, that's the sort of defining element of it, and the tempo about 140 BPM.
I describe the whole sound itself. Well, like, there's a lot of controversy about what is actually dubstep and that. Like, if you talk to Pinch or like the people involved in South London, they're all like, it's that kind of half-step, spaced out, huge bass lines, all that sort of thing.
Bass-driven, dub-influenced mutation of garage, really.
It's so fresh at the moment. I mean, I've been sort of following it for maybe a couple of years, 2 or 3 years, something like that, and it's already grown so much from like sort of garage beginnings into, you know, a vast spectrum of people doing different things. Like, you know, some people write with this like techno vibe or a drum and bass vibe, or, you know, all sorts of different flavours.
It's all about drawing the angles, drawing different angles from different kinds of music, you know what I mean? Like jungle, old school garage, like breakbeat, drum and bass, whatever you have.
Everything,
you know what
techno.
I mean? Bring it all in, put it in there, see what happens, you know what I mean? That's what it's all about.
You can just kind of sink into the bass, you can stand there and you can nod to it.
It's a cliche already, but you don't really get it until you have at least heard it once on a big sound system with a lot of bass.
It's like eating good food. So like you feel it in your belly.
Can't not that does it. It's like being inside the womb.
Exactly, I like that. I like that. I think it's just an easy vibe and it's chilled, and there's lots of different styles within dubstep, you know, so it's quite open for a lot of people to get into it, really.
Sort of taking elements of drum and bass, sort of the bass and the breaks and the production value, sort of mixed in with what was, or you know, the grime, sort of UK garage scene.
There was like an intelligent sort of grime, and that's what basically dubstep has come from. And it's obviously got more like dubby elements now. Like, it's nice now, man. It's just perfect.
Yeah. No mucking about. Yeah. It's just about some.
It's a physical sound. You feel the bass. You really do feel the bass weight.
Once you go to one night, you hear it on a big system, then you want to hear more.
I play grime, but I actually prefer raving to dubstep. That's straight. Serious is big, man.
You don't hear this music on the tape, you don't hear it on the radio, you don't hear it hammered on the adverts, and because of that, it sounds different, it sounds special, it sounds fresh.
It's a little bit slower, the rhythms are all different, you can do more interesting things when you're mixing it, you know. There's so many different styles and different options when you pick up a record that you can do a lot more in the mix rather than just like lay down another tune, you know.
when I first started getting into dubstep, which was probably around 2.5 years ago or something, it just wasn't out of London. It was all just the London sound, and even to get records was a nightmare. You know, like I don't know, a couple of places on the internet doing like black market and that, but just nowhere else. And then Rooted started doing records and that.
We've been stocking bits and bobs of it, but it's only been in the last couple of years that it's really seeped into the Bristol underground scene. Mainly due to DJ Pinch, who's been pushing it relentlessly through his context nights and his subloaded and now his dub-loaded nights as well.
The first night was a night called Context, which I did, and it was a mixed music policy. We had kind of dub and electronica to start the evening off with, and then sort of dubstep sets, and then jungle at the end. As the months progressed, everything else kind of filtered out a little bit, and it was pretty much all dubstep and then a little bit of jungle at the end. Then by the end of that year, I teamed up with a guy called Blazy, and we started a night called Subloaded. Did the first one at the Thekla.
I seen a fly in Miss Millie's about, say, 3 years ago, and it was like Context night, which Pinch was doing, and I met up with Pinch down there, and then things just rolled on from there, and then we like created Subloaded together. So
again, that was initiated just out of a lack of it being here already, and just wanting to kind of have something going and build a scene here.
Yeah, from there he's just been packing out. He's doing dub-loaded at the Croft, and it's just rammed. Every week sells out, like people queuing around the corner and stuff. Subloaded is massive. It's just all getting really big now.
Basically, he's probably the brains behind everything. Like, but I do my little bits here and there. You get me? Like, I made the name up and everything like that. So remember,